One. Hi guys, it's Jason here with you guys live from Carter's Grove, Oregon. We are gonna break down the week 4, what it was of the Carter's football weekend. A lot of good games, a lot of things happened. Um, I hope everybody's having a great day. I know I am. On this Monday, getting ready for the Tampa Bay Pittsburgh game tonight. Should be a great game. Let's start on the ACC. We always talk about the Power 5 schools. We'll go by conference by conference. Talk about what we saw, what I saw, whatnot. Notre Dame 56-27. I think they got a quarterback in the book, played very good in that ball game. Let's just go over his stats real quick. In the book, 25 out of 34, 325, 2 touchdowns. They look very good. Stanford and Notre Dame, if you want a game to watch, I suggest to watch that game next week. 4:30 on NBC. Purdue gets an upset win over BC. Very small upset. Purdue was 0-3 going into that game, but they're a lot better than what the record showed. They got a 30-13. UNC gets their first win, 38-35 over UNC. Virginia blows up Louisville 27-3. Another tough week for Louisville. Louisville was Alabama's big non-conference game. That doesn't look as good as it did in the beginning of the season. Clemson 49-21 over Georgia Tech. Trevor Lawrence, he's the starter going into Syracuse at home this week. I think Trevor Lawrence has definitely really taken over that starting job from the veteran Chris Bryant. So why not? I think Trevor Lawrence would play good, and we're about to see that. He's already played good in the time that he has played. He's played in every game, so you can't redshirt. Played more than 4 games. Virginia Tech loses. Wanted to Old Dominion 49-35. Virginia Tech's quarterback went down with a pant injury. Josh Jackson. Josh Jackson reports are broken fibula and fracture fibula. He's going to be out probably most of the season, and he may be back for a bowl game if they make it to a bowl game. Or not. Old Dominion was a 30-point dog at home, and they beat them 49-35. The Mayo Cristobal Bowl, FIU versus Miami, 31-17. Miami gets the W. Miami right now is looking like that second best team in the ACC. Hey, it's Clemson and everybody else at this point. I know Duke's undefeated. Syracuse is undefeated as well too. I don't think they could compete with Clemson right now. But hey, who knows? This is football. It could have happened every day. Florida State gets a big win over Northern Illinois, 37-19. Hey, I've been thinking about this with Florida State and the Really Tigers. They just gotta get that one win to shift the confidence. Week 1, they didn't play cupcake. They played Virginia Tech. Okay, and when you don't have that cupcake, especially a new coaching regime, you gotta wait till you play somebody to get their confidence. They didn't really do it against Sanford a couple weeks ago, but they get that blowout win against Northern Illinois, and hopefully they can build upon that. They play Louisville this week, I believe. Syracuse, we talked about one of those second best teams. Syracuse 51-21 ran over UConn. And NC State wins 37-20 over Marshall. Very good win for them. Let's talk about the Big 12. Iowa State beats Icon 26-13. West Virginia beats K-State 35-6. West Virginia looking very good. Probably I would put them as the second best team in the Big 12, behind Oklahoma and right above Texas at this point. Beta beats a streaky Kansas 26-7. Texas 31-16. Hey, 2 straight wins over very good programs. I'm gonna say very good teams. USC's the suspect, but I will say this: I'm not gonna say Texas is back. I still want to see them against Oklahoma, and in a couple weeks they play them on the 6th of October. They're a very good team. They're getting wins. First win against TCU. Since TCU has joined the Big 12. Oklahoma beats Army 28-21. Everybody's going to read that score and say, hey, it's a lot closer. Oklahoma should have blown them out. Wait a minute. I don't see that. Army's a very difficult team. This game went into overtime. Army's a very difficult team to prepare for because they wanted that triple option. Army had let's see, their time possession. Army held the ball for 44 minutes out of 60. They went on long drives after long drives, 9-minute, 7-minute drives during that ball game. Eventually they lost in overtime because they threw the ball. But hey, Oklahoma gets the win. That's still undefeated. Probably the biggest surprise in the Big 12, Texas Tech beats Oklahoma State 41-17. And when's the last time Texas Tech has held a Big 12 opponent under 20 points? Very impressive defensive showing by Texas Tech. They get a big win. Big 10 now. Michigan destroys Nebraska 56-10. Let's talk about Friday night real quick. Penn State 63-24. They get the big win against Illinois. Now they host Ohio State this week. Game day is this week. Michigan 56-10 winners. Hey, Nebraska. I know it's bad. I believe in Scott Frost. Let's all not forget that Scott Frost's first season at Central Florida, they went 6-6, okay? And in the Big 12, if they could get at least a couple wins and run out, I know that locker room right now, it's people buying in and people not buying in, and it's a really split locker room right now. So we'll see. But Nebraska fans just wait for Scott Frost. I believe he'll turn it around eventually. Buffalo gets a big win against Rutgers, 52-13. Rutgers, it's going to be a long season for the Scarlet Knights. Minnesota loses to Maryland 13-42. Maryland up and down. They'll lose to Temple. They'll beat Texas. They beat Minnesota, so why not? Second year of PJ Fleck. Um, I get it. It's gonna be a bumpy road till he gets his a full recruit in the class. Well, I would say it takes a coach at least 3 or 4 classes to really get his systems intimated. Um, Ohio State beats Tulane 49-6. It's an easy win before they play Ohio State. Michigan State beats Indiana 35-21. They bounced back after the loss against ASU. Wisconsin 28-17 winners against Iowa. I knew when the Wisconsin lost to BYU they'll beat Iowa, and they did. And Wisconsin played a good game and won out. But how I would rank the Big Ten teams in the conference, it's Ohio State, Penn State at the top. They play each other. I would still say Michigan's the third best team. I like them over Michigan State. And then you got Wisconsin as the fourth, fifth team. Let's go down to the SEC, where it means more. LSU gets a win over Louisiana Tech 38-21. The game was close late. LSU just poured ahead late. Georgia gets the win over Missouri 43-29. Georgia clearly looking like the best team in the East. Ole Miss gets a victory over Kansas State 38-17. Alabama was close for a half, but they pulled away against A&M 45-23. South Carolina and Vanderbilt, this game had a weather delay 37-14. And Kentucky, they're building off of that Florida win. Kentucky 28-7 winners against Mississippi State. Florida takes out frustration against Tennessee 47-21. And Auburn takes out frustration against Arkansas 34-3. How I would rank the SEC teams, at least at the top, Alabama, Georgia. I think the third best team in the SEC might be Kentucky. And the reason that I said that is they beat a very good Mississippi State team. They beat a Florida team that they haven't beaten since the 80s. I'll say Mississippi State's the third best team, then LSU, then Auburn, and whatnot. Let's go to the Pac-12 before we get going here. A very short week. Washington State almost pulls away with the victory. Should have 39-36. They controlled that game for mostly of that ball game. But USC just beats them. It's a week of comebacks in the Pac-12. Stanford takes advantage of a couple Oregon mistakes. They come back from a 17-point deficit and to beat Oregon 38-31. Oregon at times during that ball game looked like the best Pac-12 team. You can't even question that. Okay, if Oregon played the way that they did for probably 3.5 quarters of that ball game, they could have beat anybody in the Pac-12. Not mean that they could win out. They can, but they gotta put it together for 4 quarters. Arizona 35-14. They beat Oregon State. Battle of the two worst teams so far in the Pac-12. You gotta add UCLA in the bottom. Washington 27-20. the thing about Washington, and they'll probably do this all year, that they're not going to win pretty, they're not going to win impressive, but they're going to win. They're obviously the best team in the Pac-12. My top three teams, you got to look at Washington, Stanford, Oregon. I know Oregon lost, but like I said, Oregon dominated Stanford for about a good 2.5 quarters before everything went awry. I know they still lost, but you gotta still look at the positives what Oregon did moving forward. I would say Cal's the fourth or fifth best team. Oregon plays Cal this week. UCLA plays Washington. Stanford goes out of conference to play Notre Dame. And that's all. Oregon State goes to Arizona State. And let's see. Is there any games that I'm missing from the Pac-12? Let's just. For week 5, UCLA goes to Colorado. That's a Friday night game. Utah goes to Washington State. BYU goes to Washington. Very sneaky game. I don't know why Vegas has Washington at almost a 3-touchdown favorite. That's an 18-point, 17.5 favorite. And USC goes to Arizona. That's going to be another very sneaky good game this week. We'll break down all the games. We'll talk about all the games later this week. So that's all the games from week 4. I know I enjoyed liking them, watching them, except the Oregon game. But it's on to Cal for Oregon. And it's on. We are already on week 5 of this very good college football season. Once again, my name's been Jason. Like always, go Ducks and have a great day.